Welcome back to the Views, guys. This is Tyler,
This is Keegan.
This is Gavin.
And Liam.
and today we are going to be doing our top 10 favorite MCU movies. Favorites important.
So in light of Captain America, Brave New World coming out, Tyler had this grand idea to talk about our favorite MCU movies, kind of get hyped up for the new MCU movie. We're going to go ahead and get into it, right into it?
Yeah, we'll get right into the rankings with our 10s. We're gonna go 10, 9, all the way down to 1, and then we'll have the full list up at the end of the video in case you lose what we had where.
All right, so number 10. I was debating between two, so the honorable mention is Doctor Strange, the original Doctor Strange. What year was that, 2016? Yeah. So that was my honorable mention. It actually got beat out by Age of Ultron. That's my number 10. Is that a hot take?
I mean, it's favorite, so it can't be a hot take.
True. That's Age of Ultron. That's my number 10.
Right.
I don't have anything to say except for I think that's my top 10 solely because of Ultron. He's just hard. Like, Ultron is just hard.
Yeah, James Spader.
Yeah.
All right, so my number 10, hey, don't peek.
I didn't see it, I swear.
My number 10 is Shang-Chi.
Tough.
Yeah, I, for some reason, love that movie. I think it's just mainly the final fight between Shang-Chi and his dad. And plus, his dad's a great villain, honestly. And people hated too much on, like, the dragon, like, thing at the end. I kind of liked it. I didn't care. Like, I thought it was good.
The fight scene at the end was awesome with the 10 rings.
All the fighting in that movie is amazing.
The only thing about that movie that I didn't like is some of the humor was not that great.
Aquafina.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it. It's Aquafina's humor. It doesn't do it for me. But, yeah, Shang-Chi at my 10.
For me, I'd have to say Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 3.
Okay. Wow.
Because it was, in my opinion, probably as close to perfect as we could have gotten for a send-off with the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
James Gunn's goodbye for the MCU, going after the DCU, which I think he did very well. Handled his characters as he should have, and it was a very, very good movie. Got to my heartstrings both times I watched it.
Very good.
Every time.
Yeah. I feel like Rocket's a character that, didn't even really need a backstory drop, but they did it so well. Yeah. And going off the train there, I'm at Guardians of the Galaxy 1 for my number 10. So I think a lot of people will find that low, but I don't know. I thought the other two were better. So there you go. And also, Civil War is my honorable mention. That's also crazy that it's not in my top 10 for a lot of people. So.
Number 9.
My number 9, Shang-Chi. So that's a good movie, bro.
It's good.
My number 9, and this might come as a shock, is No Way Home. I have it kind of low, and that is purely because the plot setup is so stupid, and it makes no sense. However, Andrew Garfield's in the movie.
Yes, sir.
And people are like, oh, without them, it would be nothing. Like, they make them, like, dude, the whole point of the movie is that they make Tom Holland a better Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. Without them, it would be a different movie. It wouldn't be No Way Home. Yeah. And so I think that's a stupid argument.
My take on it is it's mid-writing, executed perfectly to make it a phenomenal movie.
Yeah, I agree. Also, the ending of that movie is amazing. With him, losing his identity and having to leave MJ.
Violent takeout of Green Goblin.
Oh, my. Yeah.
That was beautiful. Seeing Tom Holland freak out on him like that was beautiful.
Straight out of WWE.
The best part is everything is rumored to be him getting the black suit in his
my
next
gosh.
trilogy.
Oh,
and
yeah.
after seeing what he did without it to Green Goblin, I can't even fathom what he's gonna do with the symbiote suit. It's gonna be nasty. Number 9 hot take for sure. Iron Man 3. 3, the third one. The other two are not in my top 10 either. And this is it's mostly nostalgia, personally, because this is a favorite thing. And I remember watching it early on middle school, late elementary school, and just loving it, loving the action, especially the ending fight with all the suits. It was fire. The villains are a little goofy. The Mandarin was disappointing watching it later on in life, but it's close to my heart.
At my 9, this is going to be low. I have Winter Soldier.
Halfway.
Yeah, I know it's low, but I thought it was a great movie. I thought it introduced some really cool characters what's his name? Bucky obviously is really cool. Falcon. Was Black Panther introduced in that movie? Civil War. Right. But that was a great movie. That whole trilogy is probably the best, besides Guardians of the Galaxy, trilogy in the MCU. So I think it's a great movie.
Number 8, Spider-Man Homecoming. Spider-Man Homecoming. That was the debut of Tom Holland Spider-Man, and I think Michael Keaton Vulture was sick. I think he
yes.
played it beautifully. And
Him looking in the what's it called, rear view, dude?
the scene on the way to prom or the homecoming, the scene in Homecoming, mwah. So I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, and so I was a bit skeptical of another Spider-Man. I loved Andrew Garfield, so I was like, Tom Holland, this guy looks like he's 10 years old. But nah, he does it, bro. He does it in Homecoming, so I enjoyed that movie a lot. So that's my number 8.
He does it in all of them.
Yeah.
I've always been a hater on Tom Holland for no reason, but after No Way Home, man, he's probably the best Spider-Man. I'm sorry, I think he is. Hot take.
Yeah, I think he's the best Spider-Man. My favorite's Garfield, though.
Yeah.
Number 8. Hold on. Wait, no, I remember. It's Guardians of the Galaxy 1. It's just such a great start, and it's not heroes you expect to be. Because I remember a very memorable watch of that one was with my grandpa, and he loved Superman. He's not huge on action movies unless it's war movies, and Rambo is a big one for him. But I made him watch it, and he said, those are superheroes. And that perfectly encapsulates it for me. It's you don't think that they would be heroes, but they are just so good. And James Gunn is actually a GOAT.
Yes, he is. I'm so excited for the DCU.
Me too.
Yeah, the fact that he's running it, I think DCU is going to be going nowhere but up.
My number 8 would have to be Thor Ragnarok.
Number 8.
Okay. Might be a little low for some of you guys, but it's just phenomenal movie. I mean, you guys know it's super funny, super well written. Taika Waititi did a great job picking up the from the 2 movies that were right before it. Not the best MCU movie, especially Thor: The Dark World.
Oh, that movie's horrible.
But I mean, he took it in the right direction to let Chris Hemsworth be a comedian like he is and do the things he needed to do.
Okay, I love that movie. I think it's gonna be very telling by what my favorite MCU movies are, because that's high on mine. I like that, Guardians of the Galaxy, Thor, humor, but still a good superhero movie. So that's a high one on mine, but it definitely is deserving of top 10, no matter where it's at. My number 8 is Black Panther. I love Black Panther. I didn't know much about Black Panther before that movie. I feel like not a lot of people knew Black Panther before that movie, even if they want to say they did. Because even in the comics, he wasn't really the most popular character ever. And the color grading in that movie with the purple sky of Wakanda, the fight scene, the Killmonger's one of the best MCU villains. He does great. I think everything in that movie hits. Oh my God, the soundtrack.
Oh yeah, all the stars.
Yeah, Kendrick snapped on that. But that's just a great movie, undeniably.
All right, number 7 for me is Ant-Man. Original Ant-Man.
Wow. That's such a
Original Ant-Man.
It's not in mine, but it's right outside.
Yeah, bro. Paul Rudd Ant-Man. Mwah, chef's kiss casting. Another MCU great casting. That was perfect. His humor is so good in that movie to me. Every bit of the humor in that hits to me. And it hits a little bit of the sentimental. It hits the origin story. Ant-Man is a great film, bro.
Super underrated movie.
And the second 2 are even better. Okay.
Number 7, I think I know what it is. Yep. Avengers Endgame, which is probably really low for some people.
What you were talking about earlier?
No.
Oh, you said one was left off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Once you guys pick up on what I left off, I think it's gonna be all hell is let loose.
Dude.
And
I'm scared.
but yeah, no, Endgame. It's very good, but the first half is very dragged out. The more, because I used to watch it all the time, and I always saw myself just skipping to the last hour, and it is great. The last hour is actually peak comic book movie in my opinion. It's actually peak, and except for the woman team up, which might seem hey, but the boys did it right. The boys woman team up was actually done right and good.
God. When they beat up, what's her name? Stormfront. That was an amazing girl power scene. That was fire.
The boys did it right. Endgame did not. But it actually felt so unbelievably forced to the point where I was there were times where I get to that point and I almost turn off the movie. But it's it's whatever. It's still, the rest of it's actually really good.
Hey, I will say on my list, Endgame is below Infinity War, so I don't think it was better than Infinity War.
Me too.
It was good. But
It's below for me as well. So yeah, my 7 is Endgame.
My number 7 is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. because it is a perfect start, like you guys were saying earlier, to this ragtag group of criminals that have to become superheroes all of a sudden. And rewatching them is insane, having the context of the second and third one, especially with Rocket Raccoon. Some of the stuff he says in the first one, you're just like, you realize what he's talking about, and it hits different. It hits so much different. So rewatchability on that movie is insane, more than probably any other MCU movie, in my opinion.
My 7 is Spider-Man No Way Home. That's low for a lot of people, but that was the best theater experience I've ever had in my life. Like, I was literally doing Spider-Man flips, and we went to the movie in Spider-Man suits. Like, that was like a lot of people did. It was just so hype.
Number 6 for me is Winter Soldier. Basically what you said about it earlier. But the actual writing and plot of Winter Soldier is peak, and it feels like a DC grungy movie to me. And it is Marvel, but the vibe of Winter Soldier to me is just that good, well-written, like, war movie vibe, you know? And the background of Hydra and Bucky and Cap and Bucky. I just love Bucky in general, but that movie, when you see Bucky in the all-black fit, ooh, that hits. Yeah, so that's my number 6.
Yeah, no. That's a great pick, but mine's higher. My number 6 is the first Avengers. And they try to say Age of Ultron's better, and I don't agree with it.
I don't agree either, but it's better.
Oh.
I like it better.
I just can't get behind that, dude. I don't know what it is. That's just me, though. The first Avengers is just, like, they were the first ones to do it right.
Yeah.
Like, before Avengers, like, you did not see, like, cinematic universes like you do now. Everyone's trying to recreate it, and no one's really done it as good yet. Nobody has. And so the first to do it, I got to give it its props, and it's still enjoyable to watch today.
All right. My number 6 is also Winter Soldier.
Yes, sir.
Also Winter Soldier. Pretty much same stuff here, but to add on top of it, it's still, I would say to this day, the only MCU movie to truly do a political drama as like well, or to this extreme this well. Definitely. Civil War is also pretty good at it, but it's more so Avengers politics, not genuine like American politics going, international politics going crazy. And it's so well made.
6, Age of Ultron. Wow. Yeah. See, I was like grinding my teeth when you were talking about Age of Ultron. I think Ultron is the most underrated villain in film history. I think they did him justice like crazy. I think they made him a little weaker than he should have been, but his performance was so insane. He still has like the hardest quotes besides Thanos in the entire MCU. So that just Ultron alone, and it introduced Scarlet Witch, who's a lot of people's favorite MCU character. She's not mine, but I know she's a lot of favorites. I know. And hey, Quicksilver, justice for Quicksilver. He did not deserve to get shot by a bullet. No. But I thought that movie was fire. I thought that scene in that building when it's slow-mo and they're all fighting around. Oh my God, so peak. And when he took the city and like started lifting into the air, just so many memorable moments. And his death with the Vision, that whole monologue at the end is just beautiful. It's just beautifully written. And it just really encapsulates how like AI is more human than human, like I said in Companion. It's just like, are we really even doing the right thing for the planet? And Ultron wasn't technically wrong, but he went about it the wrong way.
Number 5 for me is No Way Home. I feel like we're getting to the point in the list where we're kind of going to be repeating a lot, so it'll kind of go a little quicker. No Way Home for me, theater experience, like Gavin said. Literally had people asking to take pictures with me in my Spider-Man costume, so that was pretty sick. We took the group pic, like pointing. It was like 6 Spider-Men. It was pretty cool. Made a little kid's day. Yeah, bro. No Way Home was a peak experience, and like you guys said, the build up to it was beautiful. I'm just a huge Spider-Man fan, so seeing them all 3 together in that movie was like a mind-blowing. Like literally standing up, freaking out in the theater. That was the best theater experience for me over Endgame.
So speaking of Spider-Man, my number 5 is Spider-Man Homecoming. Dude, I think that is the I might get some hate. I think it might be the best origin for Spider-Man in movies.
It isn't even an origin though.
It kind of is. Like the whole trilogy in general is an
I feel
origin.
like a true Spider-Man origin starts with the spider
and then Uncle Ben.
I guess that's fair.
It's good for like the early years, but
I don't know. There's something about that movie.
Learning to be Spider-Man for sure.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And I will die on this hill. The Vulture is low-key like top 3 villain in the MCU. I'm going to go top 3.
Wow. He's high.
I don't think he's top 3, but I think his acting alone makes him super high. Because that's Michael Keaton, man. That's just an awesome actor.
My thing is the acting's good. The reveal of him being his date's dad was so unexpected for some reason. And just how they acted a whole scene out where he figured out who Peter Parker was. And then the fact, like, his whole backstory was, like, it's just cool to see that there are people cleaning up after superheroes. And he was just, like, he got the short end of the stick, and that made him bad. People try to say he's, like, a Tony Stark-driven villain. He's not. He's a system-driven, like, villain. He was just screwed over. And
I
so
will say, as cool as that scene was, where he was like, they were talking and he was realizing it was Peter Parker or Spider-Man, it still wasn't as good as the one where his Spidey senses went off in the No Way Home. That scene was insane, dude. That one long shot. Oh my god.
Excluding Into the Spider-Verse and the second, that was one of the best Spider-Man scenes in a movie ever.
My number 5 is First Avengers. Had to make top 5 for me. It started it all the many people trying to make cinematic universes and what we talked about before. Don't want to say too much because we should move on. So yeah, top 5 Avengers. I think that's not hot take, not a hot take.
Yeah.
it's worthy.
Sadly, Avengers isn't even in my top 5 or top 10. But I really do like that movie. I think that was like you guys were saying, the first really good cinematic universe movie ever. And Loki was a good villain. But my 5th is Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
What?
No, all right. I know that sounds bad.
Which I know it's crazy. I know it's crazy. There you go. I thought that Yondu is maybe the best written anti-hero in the MCU so far. But not counting Deadpool, because that's like just now kind of added in MCU. Yondu was so well written because you hate him for being such a dick, but you love him for like being a good dad, kind of, in a weird way. And his death, everything in that movie was, I mean, they made Ego so weird, but he did it. What's his name did it, man? I forget the actor's name. Yeah, Kurt Russell, he did that. And that scene of Star-Lord realizing that's a viral meme now. But it's so good. It's so good.
Number 4 for me is Endgame. Not much to be said about Endgame. Like, that was, besides No Way Home, the best theater experience I've ever had. And that would have been a great theater experience if I was in an empty theater. Just how crazy that movie was. I cried in that movie multiple times. I'm not even going to lie. So, yeah, Endgame number 4 for me.
My number 4 is Captain America: Civil War. Very good. I think Captain America is the best trilogy in the MCU. And it's because I just think the second Guardians drags it down enough to where Captain America takes the spot for me. Even though people want to say Civil War is Avengers 1.5, I don't care. It's fire. The airport scene is so good.
Yeah.
And it completely changes the MCU. Without Civil War and the breaking up the Avengers, Thanos would not have won in Infinity War. They would have wrapped him up. So, yeah. Number 4 for me is Civil War.
Not gonna lie, pretty scared to say my number 4, Age of Ultron. Yeah. It's Age of Ultron. Yeah, I mean, like how I said Iron Man 3 was nostalgia based. This one is like 95% nostalgia based. I watched this one like peak middle school when I started falling in love with the Marvel movies and action superhero movies, and it's just there would be many days where I would just be bored and I'm just gonna throw on Age of Ultron and watch like the second half of it for all the fight scenes.
Yeah.
Like and I enjoyed and like the introduction of Vision and just every single scene that has Vision in it from that moment out, even everything in WandaVision is just perfect. It's so good, so well written, and I can't wait to see what they do with the White Vision, even though it could be bad. We'll see.
Let's hope it's good. Okay, so my number 4 is Ragnarok, which is in a lot of people's top 5s. I feel like it hits on every level for me. The comedy, the action, Hela being an intimidating villain with Chris Hemsworth opposing her. That's really hard to do. She's a very skinny woman, and Chris Hemsworth is a huge dude, and she's terrifying. She killed that role. That's the last time we really got to see the Hulk be the Hulk, and he did amazing as always. Chris Hemsworth obviously did amazing. Loki, I liked that was really when Loki and Thor started having a more brotherly kind of relationship.
and that they just play it so well. And I think that movie hits on all cylinders. So top 4 for me.
Down to 3.
Top 3. Here we go. Top 3. Number 3 for me is Infinity War, right above Endgame. I think undebatably, I don't think this is a hot take. Undebatably, Infinity War's a better movie. Infinity War's a better movie than Endgame.
I would say so. I
Right.
have it like in my official like best ranking. I have Infinity War above it as well.
Okay. I think Infinity War's better, and I enjoyed it more. I enjoyed Infinity War because of the shock at the end, shock value, characters dying.
My number 3 is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Very fitting. I saw that movie twice in theaters, and it got better on the second time.
Yep.
And it was already almost perfect the first time. Yeah, I just think it was the perfect send off that you can do for that group of people. Just like destroyed me in a good way. Wait, pause. Time out.
That's going on YouTube short.
Dude, time out.
Yeah. When you edit that.
Okay, no, it made me sad in a good way. There's sometimes where you just like you want to watch something and like when it makes you sad, you're just like, man, it's like you can feel something.
Yeah.
Like it just felt like it was perfect. I love that movie.
Number 3 for me is Endgame. I liked it a lot. Watching it and I remember watching it in theaters, and it was insane. A lot of it got spoiled for me. I can't lie. A lot of my friends in middle school did not lock in on that. They were letting all the spoilers fly. Kind of rough. But yeah, during COVID, I watched all of the MCU in order up until I guess Far From Home because that's all that came out. I watched it straight through about 3 times during COVID because that's how bored I was, and every single time Endgame hit harder that I got through because it's insane.
Well, mine is also Endgame, so I feel like there's not really much talking we need to do about it. But I felt like that was another one that you just had to be in the movie theater for. And I missed the first half of that movie when I first saw it. My mom was getting a haircut, and she had my ticket, so I was waiting for her to get done. And I came in, and Hawkeye just, like, brutally killed someone in the street. And I was like, what the fuck did I just walk into? But, dude, that movie was insane. I have never cried in a movie, and that's the second closest I've been in an MCU movie. So.
Number 2 for me is Thor Ragnarok. So we're getting to this. We're all going to kind of have the same around the top 10. So Thor Ragnarok's my number 2. I was really heavily debating number 1 and 2. This is like 1A, 1B for me. So Thor Ragnarok's my number 2. Peak comedy, action, everything about that movie hits. Like you said, Hela's a perfect villain for that movie. I love the dynamic between Loki and Thor and Odin in that movie. When Thor becomes fully realized, what does he ask him? Are you Thor, god of hammers?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he comes back, and when he comes back with the lightning or on the bridge, whew, what a scene.
Yeah. Zeppelin.
So my number 2 is Avengers Infinity War. I mean, we all had it in here. We all talked about it. It's just like that feeling of leaving defeated and not know. Like we knew that they were going to clap back the way that they did, but like we just didn't know how they would go about it. And the Russo brothers they've made the best 4 MCU movies in my opinion. Like they are like all 4 of those are in your most people's top 10. Like if you ranked by best.
Yeah.
And they did great. Infinity War, it made you feel like you lost.
Yeah.
And it was perfect.
Number 2 for me is Civil War. It's such a good watch. It's another nostalgia based one. It came out 2016, so peak middle school once again. And it was just every single fight scene I feel like was choreographed so well, just like Winter Soldier. And it introduced so many new characters like Black Panther, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It introduced Spider-Man perfectly in my opinion. Yeah. Great intro. It was just very well made.
Yeah, I agree. Infinity War is my second. So we already talked about it, but man, I remember thinking, how are they even gonna come back? How is this even possible? I did not have any idea of how they were gonna bring people back and kill Thanos.
Everyone at least knew it, but like that doesn't take away from the fact.
Yeah, I knew it was gonna happen somehow, but dude, I liked Thanos a lot. Like, dude, that villain is just insane. So I didn't even really feel defeated. I was like, dude, good for him, man. That's I've never seen a villain like truly listen. I've never seen a villain work so hard and kill that many people. You know, he just sweated that shit out. So he worked for it and he got it done, dude.
Indomitable human spirit, Thanos.
Genocide.
Not even a human.
W genocide.
Okay, dude.
My number one. I'm assuming Gavin has the same number one as me because I don't think he said it yet. Guardians 3 is my number one. Guardians 3 is my number one favorite MCU movie.
That's valid. It's
Like-
so valid.
It's so good, bro. I think I watched it 3 times in theater, if that says anything. I don't know what else there is to say about it. Like, what a beautiful ending to their trilogy there. Definitely cried in that movie multiple times throughout Rocket's backstory, and I think I got a little bit teary-eyed when Quill returned home at the end to his grandpa. So, yeah, great movie. Great watch.
My number one, Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Okay.
Absolute. I think it is. I'm gonna get so much hate for this. I think it is the best superhero movie.
Superhero movie?
Yeah.
Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
No!
I'm sorry, dude. That movie got me into movies. I think. Actually, can't find anything.
Plot hole in the movie.
What are you
They
talking
talk
about?
about it's one of the agents who gets killed by the Winter Soldier that they kidnap, who's working for Hydra, the bald guy. At one point, he's like, "Oh yeah, we have all these targets, including Doctor Stephen Strange." Yeah, he wasn't becoming Doctor Strange for another 3 years, canonically.
That is really
What?
strange.
Just watch the movie.
Stephen Strange, because he was. Did it say he was already Doctor Strange?
No, but how are they gonna know that?
The whole point is it, dude. Did you not watch the movie?
No. They named people like Bruce Banner, Tony Stark, all these people who are superheroes, and then
powerful
also
people.
said Doctor Stephen Strange.
But he wasn't Stephen Strange yet.
Dude, did you not know what that program did?
Yes, I
It
know what
read
did.
out people's DNA to see if they were going to become something special and then kill them if they were going to be a problem. It read into the future. That's what the whole point of it was. It took out potential threats and current threats.
Am I the only one who
Dude,
didn't
I'm
see
being
that, I
dead
guess?
serious. I'm being dead serious. I'm being so serious.
Did you guys see that?
This guy read an extended comic.
Dude, it's highlighted perfectly in the movie because when the highlight the targets show up, it's pointing at a random dad in like a field. The whole point is it takes out targets and anyone who's a potential threat to Hydra.
5 hours later.
You guys need to rewatch it because that was highlighted very well that it kills out threats and potential threats. Like it is highlighted out and they say it.
Yeah, whatever you say.
I feel like I'm sitting next to Bucky right now. Number one.
Dude.
He knows everything.
This
He's
guy's
Nick
in
Fury.
Hydra.
He's Nick Fury, bro.
Hail Hydra.
This guy's a scroll.
All right, my number one. My number one is Infinity War, because this was like I keep saying peak middle school, peak nostalgia, but like unironically, this is peak nostalgia. It was 2018. I was a 5th grader. It was peak middle school. So I just
2016 peak middle school. That's a
I might be stupid. I might be stupid. I might be stupid. No, just think about it. Just think about it. No, but yeah, it's like we've all said about Infinity War at this point. This shock value was insane, and it left everyone just like, what? So yeah, not much else to say. Infinity War, the GOAT.
Yeah, I that's a great movie. Guardians 3 is my favorite. Okay, so it's apparent that I love good soundtracks. I love color pop because like Ragnarok, Guardians, Endgame, and I love comedy. So Guardians has to be on number one, right? And dude, the opening with Creep playing, great, dude. I hated Will Poulter as Adam Warlock right when he was cast. I was like, what the actual hell is this casting? Because the only thing I'd really recognized him from was We're the Millers and Maze Runner. So I was like, why this dude with the eyebrows? But he did so good. Because in the comics, Adam Warlock isn't a comedy role. But, dude, he did so good. And that's, oh my God, that was perfect casting, and I didn't even see it coming. Also, that movie made me, like, laugh the most of any MCU movie and made me almost cry the most. So it kind of just has to be my number one. Because it hit every single emotion so well. It was so good. And the High Evolutionary, man, crazy.
Ragnarok is not in my top 10. Dude, I just don't find myself going back to it ever.
You need to go back to it once.
That's some of the toughest scenes in the MCU, dude. The bridge scene is so crazy. And Hulk throwing the dog, wolf thing, whatever his name is. And Surtur, bro. Crazy. And the fight scene between Hulk and Thor.
I never, even when I first saw it, I thought it was good, but I thought people overrated it. All right, so yeah, that was our top 10. Each of us,
We'll be
Liam.
having the Brave New World review coming very soon.
yeah, we'll hopefully have it out pretty soon after we see it. But we
That's
got
about it.
yeah.
Man. Thank you all for watching.
See you guys.
See ya.